I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a virtual drive. 2021 BMW Alpina XB7.
This is the first sports activity vehicle for Alpina for North America.
Yeah, in Europe they've got the XD3, which doesn't look nearly as cool.
Yeah, and the only other Alpina that we get in North America is the B7.
Which we reviewed a long time ago when we were still on Motoring TV.
Yeah, we went for a ride in it. Anyways, let's move on.
Horsepower and torque.
612 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque from a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8. And it's got the ZF 8-speed transmission, which we know and love, and it also does 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.2 seconds.
Is it really good at driving left and right in the fog?
Apparently, according to the press footage, yes, absolutely. Really good at fog driving.
How about just driving straight so we can get like a shot of the body?
Not so good at that, apparently.
No, I gotta swerve.
So it must handle really well, but we'll get to that later.
So what is an Alpina? Where does it fall in line against like a Maybach or a GLS63 or an X7M, which doesn't exist?
So Alpina is technically its own separate manufacturer. It's made in Germany. They've had a long partnership with BMW. They basically take BMWs, make them even more special and unique, and then limited edition. So it kind of falls in line slightly above the AMG stuff, but below the Maybach stuff.
Yes, because the GLS Maybach is about 250,000 or something, where this is much less.
Yeah, it'll probably be around that considering how much a Maybach S-Class costs.
So digging into it, what do they really change compared to the X7? Because we drove an X7 40i and then also a 50i. So what's here?
They pretty much changed the whole car. They tuned the engine, changed the exhaust, changed the air suspension, changed how it looks. We should probably just start with the looks.
Pretty much what I notice on every Alpina is it says Alpina in raised letters at the bottom, at the very front.
Yeah, so that's one of their staples, and they typically have like a really nice lower lip because of that Alpina badge.
Yeah, the front end always looks flatter and stronger. In the press material, they did say it has more power and presence, and for once, I don't think they're making that up. It actually does look like it has more power and presence.
And just like the X7, it does have a big old grille. And just like the X7, we are not upset by that, but I'm sure everybody on the internet is.
Everybody's used to it, just like I said they would be from my awesome Photoshop job that I want to show again because it took a lot of time.
And the next signature thing would be in the side profile, specifically with the wheels. We've got Alpina 20-spoke, 23-inch wheels, and I love them.
Yeah, they look really great, but the funny thing is, the GLS Maybach also has similar wheels.
Similar-ish, but these are a trademark of Alpina. And when we originally reviewed the X7, we said it would look so much better on Alpina wheels, and here you go, they actually built it.
Like the wheels?
I do. They're aggressive and sporty, but I think I'd like a thin-spoke turbine wheel instead.
That would be super cool. Like a big Alpina wheel?
Yeah.
That would be unreal. Yeah, that'd be super cool.
Yes, I'm expecting that check from Alpina anytime soon for all of our consulting advice.
Here's what that check looks like. It's nothing.
And then on this one, we've got the hockey stick at the bottom, but it's all chromed out, which I think looks really nice on such a fancy car.
I think a car like this definitely deserves a little bit of chrome on the outside, and I'm not upset by that.
But around the window trim, it is still all black, which is nice because it's not like full cheesy chrome. It's like just the right amount.
Yeah, they're just trying to draw your attention to the right parts of the car. Like the outlines of the windows aren't exactly one part that needs to be accentuated.
And then behind the cool wheels, we also have blue Alpina brakes, which obviously look cool. Any fancy car company that puts their logo on their brake calipers is always good by me.
And they are actually Brembo brakes, which are just badged as Alpina. And by the way, you can get optional 21-inch wheels, so you can optionally size down.
And then if we move on to the back, we do have double dual exhaust.
Yeah, it looks a lot better than BMW's own exhaust, which we call 2020 fake. I don't even know anymore, 2021 fake. Anyways, these ones look pretty good.
And between both exhausts, we do have a new style diffuser, which is pretty low profile and body matched, but it does look nice.
And then we have the exact same taillights from the X7, and same with the headlights, obviously. So we like those there, we like them here.
Overall, good looking SUV, but I don't think it's as good looking as a Maybach. But the price difference is huge, so I totally get it.
And since this does start at around $150,000 Canadian, I think it's kind of a bargain, actually.
Yeah, well, not for me, I can't afford it, but for somebody, I'm sure it is.
Well, for the person that's shopping for the Maybach, they're like, oh, an Alpina, eh? Save a lot of money.
Yes, if you're a Maybach owner or an Alpina owner, please let us know what you think of the other one, because from here, it's all kind of the same.
And can I just mention, what do you think of the XB7 badge on the back?
When they make an X7M and then they make an Alpina version of that, is it going to be XB7M?
No, they're not going to have an Alpina M version. There's Alpina and there's M.
But what about when Alpina needs an M version of their own Alpina?
I don't think that's going to happen, but I guarantee someone in the world will put that badge on their car.
So moving on into the interior, it pretty much looks exactly like the X7, except for we've got a few Alpina badges instead of BMW badges.
Yeah, you get them on the door trim. You also get it in the middle of your iDrive controller, which is all crystal as well, but the crystal shifter still says X. However, it's lit up in blue instead of orange.
What I really like about the Alpina logo is it's got that cool crest, it's got the red and the blue. Everything looks just like slightly different and slightly fancier than a normal BMW or if it was like an X7M. And I especially like the way it looks on the steering wheel.
Yeah, we'll talk about that steering wheel in a second, but I'm happy to report that gloss black is not the only option. So you do get a badge in the center console, but you can get wood, and I would highly recommend that.
Bro, it's called piano lacquer. It's not called gloss black.
Ooh, sorry, marketing.
Yeah, you can also get natural walnut anthracite. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like. I'm assuming light brownish wood.
Whatever it is, it's gonna be better than black lacquer piano, whatever.
Piano lacquer. Lacquer. Another word I have trouble saying.
Anyways, moving on to that steering wheel. We do not actually have any paddle shifters. We have shifter buttons.
I think that's kind of Rolls-Royce of them. You know how Rolls-Royce doesn't show the RPM, it just says the power. It's like, we'll give you the option to change it, but it'll be slightly different. Like, we don't want you to use it. And then if we look at the gauges, it now says Alpina instead of BMW or whatever the model would be.
Yeah, other than that, the gauges look the same, the infotainment looks the same, but the rest of the interior gets better leather quality and stuff like that.
Yeah, but to like the naked eye, you don't really notice much of a difference.
You obviously get heated seats, and we also had heated and cooled cup holders in the regular X7, so I'm sure this one's gonna have that as well.
So we can't do the small cup test and we can't test the visors, but the X7 did pass, so we're gonna assume this one does too.
Let's hit him with it.
2, 1.
Full pass.
Yo, does Alpina sell a package that you can extend the visor even farther?
That's part of their craftsmanship since 1965. Extend every visor a little bit more. No, I'm kidding. I don't know if that's for real. They might even not have it because, you know, in Germany and Europe, they don't actually use sliding visors.
Yeah, that's right. The one guy from BMW told us when we were in Europe one time, but I don't know if I believe that guy fully.
Well, that was the guy who said we could pour water on the USB plug, so I'm cool with that. Show the clip. And then in the middle row, you can do 2 captain chairs or you can do a bench.
And obviously everything is going to be power operated just like it was on the X7, so watch our X7 video. And it also has soft closed doors, obviously.
I wouldn't expect anything less. And if you fold down the back seats, you can get up to 2,560 liters, so we should probably do the box test.
Box test.
Weird that that didn't line up with the actual box test of the X7.
Actual X7 box test.
Starting with the box test.
Box test.
8, 9, 10, 11.
12. 14.
And if you're loading stuff into the trunk, it's a clamshell. It opens from both sides and it can drop up to 5 centimeters when you're loading stuff up in the back. Actually, it's 5.1 centimeters.
And speaking of lowering and raising, yes, this does have air suspension, obviously, but it's Alpina tuned, so you get different dampers. You can actually raise it or lower it manually, or it can also lower by itself while you're driving, depending on what speed you're going and depending on what drive mode you're in.
Yeah, so the Alpina version does have added aero, so it's more stable at high speeds. And then over 250 kilometers an hour, it'll drop an extra 2 centimeters automatically.
Oh, I can't wait to experience that on public roads. That's not gonna happen here.
No, we're just gonna shut down an intersection and do donuts in the middle, shooting fireworks.
If you get the reference, let us know.
I don't understand how everyone's doing that this year, you know what I mean? Like,
There's no one on the roads, I guess.
no, but they've been doing it forever. Like, it used to be street racing, now it's just donuts at intersections. Don't intersections have cameras? Like, why are people doing it in intersections?
I don't know, apparently some place in the States was also thinking about legalizing one area for street racing. Like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
That was Atlanta, yeah. Municipalities, smarten up.
And speaking of street racing, which you shouldn't be doing, it can do the quarter mile in 12.6 seconds. This is stupid fast for a car of this size.
So now let's talk about all the rest of the performance stuff.
So Alpina says the engine can best be described as early, torque-filled urgency followed by a surge of mid-range power and a hard charge to redline. Yeah, that's marketing, all right.
It's marketing, but it's also accurate from like what I felt in other Alpinas.
Oh, I know, it's just the way they word it.
It's the journalist way, man, thesource.com.
And it'll probably sound pretty good going down the quarter mile because it does have active exhaust, so you can change the sound based on comfort or sport. Then there's also a bunch of different drive modes, so we have everything from Sport Plus to Comfort Plus. I love Comfort Plus in cars like this.
I'm curious to see if they kept the bad style exhaust sound like the Z4 that we had, where it's every single time, or if they'd made something different for an Alpina version.
I don't think Alpina messes around like that. I think it'll sound pretty good. And according to the press footage, as you see it weaving everywhere, I think it'll handle really well because it is all-wheel drive. It does have an active limited slip differential in the back, and it actually has all-wheel steering. So the wheels in the back turn opposite at low speeds and the same direction at high speeds.
And with all the performance stuff out of the way, the Alpinas come standard with all of the driving assists.
Yeah, so just like we've experienced on the X7, it's gonna have traffic jam assist, which we really did like.
Yeah, it's gonna have cruise control, blind spot monitoring, parking assist and everything. And then it also has something called evade assist for blind spots and pedestrians, but I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Maybe we'll find out when we actually get to drive this, because hopefully we will.
So with all that fun stuff out of the way, let's get to the price.
It starts at $165,900 in Canada, and you can start ordering it now with delivery starting in September.
Yo, easy there, BMW salesman.
Yo, I'm just saying when it's available. I'm not buying one.
And this is pretty much in the ballpark of a GLS63 according to last year's prices.
So I haven't actually driven a GLS63 yet. We drove the regular GLS. I did like it a lot, but I think this is going to be a little bit more unique. So if you're looking for something a little bit more limited, you probably want the Alpina.
Yeah, and then the Alpina is going to have the rotary knob where the Mercedes went full like touchpad. So I think Alpina wins this one.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Alpina or just a regular AMG or even a Maybach. Let us know where it lines up and all those kind of things.
And until then, watch our X7 versus GLS video.
And also watch our regular X7 video.